So in today's video, we're going to be plumbing in and testing out the GHL ION Director. Let's go. I've finally got my PVC tubing delivered. They got delivered yesterday or the day before. First thing I want to do is briefly explain what you get within the ION Director pack. You get the ION Director itself. This unit, you get the ION Director and you get the 4-head dosing pump. The ION Director, this unit here is what tests the water with the ion sensor, and the 4-head dosing unit is what feeds the reference solutions, which are down here. So you've got reference A and reference B, and it also feeds the tank water to the ION Director itself. So pump 1, the left side of pump 1, this goes into your sump, and that will pull the sample water from the sump into the ION Director. The right hand side goes into the first sample water. The second pump goes into reference A and reference B. A's on the left, B's on the right. So pump 2, the left hand side pulls the water from the reference bottle and goes in through this tube here into the ION Director, and then pump 3 pumps reference B on the left hand side, takes it from the reference bottle, and the right hand side pumps it into the reference solution B tube here. The wastewater comes from pump 1. As pump 1 pumps in, it also pumps it out. I've currently got it in this little bottle here, and that can actually be dosed back into the sump. There's no problems with that going back into the sump, unlike the KH Director. So today what we're going to do is we're going to plumb it in the left hand side of pump 1 to the sump, and the wastewater side back into the other side of the sump. I'm going to show you briefly where I'm going to do it. So the left hand side of the sump is where I'm taking my sample from, and the right hand side of the sump is where I'll be putting the wastewater, or the tested water we'll call it, back into the sump. The reason I'm taking it from the left hand side of the sump is because I dose on the right hand side of my sump, and the ION Director takes 30 minutes to do its test, and I dose every 15 minutes. So I don't want the dosing to contaminate the sample water. So if I take it from this side, the flow runs this way, so everything I dose goes back into the 4th chamber and in through the return pump. The left hand side is just fresh water from the return. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this, but let me just set the camera up around here. So actually I'll show you exactly where I'm going to I'll take this off the tripod and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to route this wire. I'm going to come in here, which is the left hand side of pump 1. I'm going to go down back to the back of the units. I'm going to go through behind the cabinet here. It's going to come behind this. I can actually remove this, and I'll remove this in a minute. I'm going to use this pipe work to attach the lines, a lot like my lanthanum chloride, but I'm going to do it on the top of this one here. I'm going to come down this here across, and then I've just got this little dosing holder. So I'm going to put the sample tubing down there. I've got the little filter. So I'll do a little time lapse. I'll probably do a little time lapse of me just routing this first wire across. So we've got the line coming through here, up along this pipe work here, across, down the back of this rat's nest of wires, through behind the cabinet, around, and it comes into dosing head 1. One thing I do need to do before I continue is find out how much this is holding, how much water this is holding, and I'll show you why in a bit. So let me get myself a graduated cylinder. Right, I've got myself a graduated cylinder. What I'm going to do is pull this out of here. All I'll do is spin it around. This is where I need 4 hands, because what I need to do is make sure that's collecting the water whilst I turn the doser on backwards. Right, so this upside down jug should do the trick. So what I'm going to do now is remove this line here. And collect. I'm going to turn the doser on backwards so it completely empties the line and fills that graduated cylinder. I can't actually do it on camera because I need to use the app, the GHL app, to do that. So I'll turn it off and come back to you in a second. Okay, so I've run the doser backwards and we have a total of, let me put it on somewhere flat and turn it around, so there's actually 30, let's say 31 mil that the sample line holds. So what I can do now is just turn that back around, so it's taking water again from the tank. I've reattached it this side. Now what I need to do is the wastewater line. I need to remove it from this, and I need to plumb it into, I'm just gonna have it on this side where I normally dose. So I'm actually not sure if I've got enough dosing line left, actually. I'm not sure if I've got enough of this tubing left. I think I have. I hope I have. We've got about 2 meters. So if I detach it from this side, hopefully this tube's long enough, because it's the only bit of tube I've got left. I only ordered 5 meters, and I thought 5 meters would be plenty, but apparently it's not plenty. So I'm going to have to leave these 2 samples, these reference solutions here, because I don't have enough line to take them through to this shelf here. So yeah, this will do for now. I'm going to route it back through the back, so it goes across the back of the doser, across the back here, and then we'll have it coming across around the back of the cables, down through just here. So there we go. Oh, we've got just enough room for it to go back in there. So I'll cut this, push that into the spare hole, and hey presto, we are almost complete. So what I've done is, this is a sample line. I need to refill the sample line actually. There we go. Line 1 is fully primed. I didn't touch line 2 because the reference solutions are down here. Line 3, again reference solution B, I didn't touch that, and the wastewater now comes through back around the back of the dosing pump, across here, down, just down here, and across and down, and it's going back into the sump. Well, hey, all right, so what I'm going to do now is, what am I going to do now? I suppose we could just run a test. All right, so I'm currently in the GHL Connect app, and I need to go into control. I need to go into the ION Director, and the first thing I need to do is change the sample tube volume. That's the measurement we took earlier. So that basically means that the sample tube holds 31 milliliters, so it will take 31 milliliters through that tube before it starts taking a sample water. It's basically to make sure that it's not testing the water in the sample line and it is testing it from the actual sump itself. Right, so we're going to go up and we're going to go to start measurement now. So that has started the measurement on the ION Director. It takes 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop this video and I'll come back in 30 minutes. Alright, so it's been 30 minutes and the results are in. So as you can see, we've got calcium at 412, we've got magnesium, which is running a bit high. I always run high magnesium, I just can't seem to bring it down. That's 1434. Potassium's good at 425. Sodium again is high at 11588, and nitrates are a little bit high at 20. Magnesium and sodium, that's component 3. So I mean, it's irrelevant to this video, but I do need to change my dosing on my Aquaforest dosing, because it's obviously not working out. Calcium's fine, alkalinity is a little bit low, as you can see up in the GH Director value there at 6.7. And magnesium and sodium, which are both parts in part 3 of the Aquaforest dosing, are too high. So I'm actually thinking about changing dosing methods anyway, but that's a story for another day. What I need to do now is go into the ION Director again, and I need to set my automatic testing. Where are we? Going to go into general, scroll all the way to the bottom, and I want it to take 1 measurement per day, and I want that measurement to be at 6:35 p.m. So I'll save that, and I'll tell you why I want it to come out at 6:35 p.m. I dose 3 parts, and I dose 24 times a day. I dose all 3 parts 24 times per day. I dose my calcium at here 5 minutes past every hour. I dose alkalinity at, oh, let me go down, where are we, dosing schedule. I dose my my calcium at 1/4 past every hour, and I dose my magnesium at dosing schedule 1/2 past every hour. So I'll switch over to the sump and I'll explain briefly why I want it to come out at 16:35. Okay, so because I'm taking a sample from the left side of my sump and I dose to the right side of the sump, I want to leave it at least 5 minutes before the end of the magnesium dosing and the start of the sample being taken. I mean, the flow comes through here, across and down here. So there's literally no way that the magnesium dose that I dose to this side of the sump will affect the ION Director's results, but I want to leave it 5 minutes just to make sure the sump's got fresh water in there, there's nothing been dosed for 5 minutes, and then I take the sample. I may even move the dosing to the back corner, only so that way it will be the furthest distance away from the sample. I could take the sample from the main display tank, but that's an absolute effort. So I think this way will work, and I don't think my magnesium dosing or any dosing will affect the results of the ION Director, because there is that 5 minute gap and it is on the other side of the flow. So the flow comes across, obviously through the Clarity this way. If I had it set up the other way around, where my dosing was on this side and the sample was on this side, I may run into issues with varying results because the dosing is affecting the sample, but this way round it should be absolutely fine. So we'll probably leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are enjoying the content, please do like, please do subscribe, and have a cracking week, guys.